So I
computer.
finished that.
Okay, but talking about, you talking about the obstacles bring you to where you are today. What are some of the obstacles that in fact, I've got a few that you mentioned to me that I actually wanted to talk about with you. The first was, you said, your choices are truly what got you to where you are. And
Mhm.
so your first big choice was to join this company. Well, you were an interior designer and you had a lot of respect in the community, and now you're going to sell whatever, like compared to
Water and air filtration
water and
system.
air filtrations exactly at that time. And I can imagine there had to be some kind of ego thing going on, but just tell us about that transition. What actually made you say yes to this company to move forward?
It was very easy. Uh, Financial fear. I was a new bride to my second husband, David, and um, there was a great recession hitting the New England states particularly hard. I didn't even know what the word recession meant, but I found out very quickly because interior design and architecture is one of the professions that now people are going to tighten their belts on. So I watched my chosen profession, that was my dream profession, just plummet and come to a screeching halt overnight, literally overnight. David owned a small hotel on the seacoast. No one was staying in the hotel now. So because back then the mortgage on it was 3.5 million, compound that to today, that would probably be around 18 million. We're now in debt that amount. Can you wrap your brain around that? I could not. I was in financial fear. No money was coming in, and I had two kids approaching college. Compound this even more, 6 months later, David lost his youngest daughter at age 24 of melanoma. So I had a trusted friend, a really good friend in Newburyport here. I was in New Hampshire at the time. I'm now in Massachusetts. And she invited me to take a peek at this business. All I heard was the word business. Found myself in her living room with a national marketing director and a big chalkboard drawing out the compensation plan. And it looked like chicken scratch. Seriously. I never got over a C in math. I had no idea what he was talking about, but I heard the national marketing director benefit package. And I said, I need that. I have to have it. I signed up with the products and the business simultaneously. And then I looked at myself literally in the bathroom mirror and said, if it's to be, it's up to me. I've got to figure this out. Financial fear drove me. And Nikki, I reinvented myself because I remember saying, okay, now I was visualizing now I could be a designer that designs the total environment, not just the aesthetics, but clean air, clean water. So I took a lot of pride to that. But then 2 years later, when the company transcended into Juice Plus, I said, now I'm filtering the best interior. I'm designing the best interior you're ever going to have.
I just got to say, you guys, just you see the pivot? Can you imagine shifting your language enough? She's a
Mhm.
designer. She gets to help filter your interior. Now, not everybody would have gone to that place, but what do you
Mhm.
think has you and your mindset go
Mhm.
to that place rather than, oh, this is very, being paralyzed? Because you're a yes person. Tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about being that person and how do you get there?
It's fascinating to me looking back, and I can't figure it out, Nikki, because my mother went through oh my gosh, she was, I loved her dearly, but she was negative in so many ways. And I think I fought that negativity. I just see possibilities. And I think in design school too, in architectural school, we were taught how to visualize the end in mind. So to visualize the interior already done, I can visualize it, I can see it, I can smell it, I can taste it, I can hear it, I can feel the feeling, what it's going to feel like after it's come to fruition. So when I went to that first conference, kicking and screaming because I couldn't afford to go, stayed in the airport motel and took the city bus into the
Oh,
Memphis
wow.
Convention Center, because I literally couldn't afford it. Um, I caught a vision. That to me was bigger than my why. I caught Jay Martin's vision. I could visualize, I could see people on stage that were average people making an above average income, and they were contributing. And so contribution was big to me. Um, and so that's where the emotional revenue comes in. I needed the finances, yes, but emotional revenue, people mean more to me. The relationships mean more to me. Making a difference, contributing makes more of a difference to me. And so for the next 3 decades, that vision has only gotten stronger and stronger. It just has never left.
And that's a really important thing because you've been in the business 35, 36 years. Is it 35?
January will be 36
Okay.
years.
As I know you're
Yeah.
ahead of me, I'll be 36 years in the following October. So you're a little bit
Ooh.
ahead of me. But I never get the sense. I mean, I know that your vision, if you have a vision and a mission, and that's true to your heart, it's not going to waver. But there might be days where you feel like it's Groundhog Day. You do the same thing over and over again, or and our business has taken dives. We
Mhm.
went through IT, which was a nightmare. Come on. And then the pandemic and all of the things that our company has gone through over the last year. Is there one or two things that you can say, yes, your vision is clear, and that's what keeps you moving. But is it something where you have a down day? Is there a talk that you do to yourself? Is there something you say, Cynthia, this is something that makes a difference for you that then you can impact others? Is there anything that you can grab onto to share with us?
I think it all goes to belief. If your belief is strong enough, you can move mountains. Um, the digital transformation, um, people thought it was horrific, and it was to some extent. It kind of paralyzed a lot of people, but I was bound and determined to be the calm flight attendant in the front of the plane. I mean, who wants to have the nail biting flight attendant, turning all different colors? And what does that do to the passengers? I mean, I would be frantic out of my mind. I choose to be, it's choice. I choose to be the calm flight attendant and to ride the airwaves. Because when we went through the transition from air and water to Juice Plus, I intellectually got Juice Plus because I'd been juicing for 2 years. My mother had breast cancer when I was in college. My birth daddy died of one massive heart attack at age 38. No second chance. I was a baby. And and then David's daughter, we'd lost her of melanoma. So we'd been juicing for 2 years. So when it was introduced, we got it. Unlike so many national marketing directors, over one weekend, I lost 6 NMD uplines, gone. Even my sponsor, my good friend, gone. I was a QNMD at the time. I watched, it was like 18 NMDs in all of the New England states just gone, and trying to even my good friend tried to sponsor my people on my team. She's still my good friend. I gift her with Juice Plus today because I'm so eternally grateful to her. Um, and so I remember thinking as a QNMD, why am I still here? Why am I still here in all of New England? And I really had to think hard on that. And it was because my belief, my trust in Jay Martin and his vision was so rock solid. I was unshakable.
It in
And
relation,
so
go
you
on.
go ahead, Nikki.
Well, I was going to say
No,
in
no.
relationship to Jay Martin because Chris and I went from having 1,200 people at one point before when we transitioned to Juice Plus to having a handful of people. Our checks
No.
went from $20,000 to $40,000 a month to under $1,000 a month,
No.
and we
Yeah.
thought about leaving, and it was Jay Martin. But how do you feel? That's really powerful for you and I, but we don't have Jay Martin at the helm. We have Travis. Tell us, do you feel as strongly about Travis? And I know you
We
had time with him.
we had to go through a few years without Travis, as you know, and that was shaky. And we just held our heads high and rode those waves. Travis is the biggest blessing. I think what I love about Travis so much is that he visits Jay Martin. He got to know him um, in the beginning. He knew about Jay Martin before he even said yes to this company. Jay had an amazing reputation out there in the direct sales world, and just everyone held him high on a pedestal. So Travis knew of him and spoke very highly of him. He listens to hear, Travis does, and he understands that we're the best asset they're ever going to have. And I just respect him so much. And I really believe that he, he's gotten, investors that have deep pockets. That man has moved mountains for us.
He has.
And I just have the same feeling about him that I had about Jay Martin, the same feeling.
Hey,
And
talking
so
about mountains, didn't you just climb a couple mountains?
I did. I
So
did.
so when you looked at those mountains, this was just in the last few months, did you look and say, that's not, I don't know if I can do that. Did you have any doubt and then have to shift it? Or did you go right into possibility?
Okay. Well, first of all,
Sure.
I will share, be very vulnerable, very authentic to say why I was on this gorgeous island called Florianopolis in Brazil, where no one speaks English, oh, by the way. My third time this year, oh, by the way, 19 hours to get there. Never did I think as a single person, I say single, because 2 years ago, um, I my husband David, who I was hid very well for a decade, has dementia. And I hid it well. Although Nikki, you knew and others knew. But I was still hiding it. I didn't talk about it. I covered up. And then 2 years ago, I had to put him in memory care. The hardest thing I ever had to do.
And their
People,
relationship was so beautiful. He was such a
oh,
part of our Juice Plus world. It wasn't like he was just on
no,
the side. David was family and part of us and really
oh,
important. And
yeah.
yeah.
And he didn't have this male ego. I mean, he said he was the wind beneath my wings. And so I had this thought, okay, I'll be the wind beneath his wings now. And that's how I rationalized it. And thank goodness for this business because it allowed me to continue. I didn't miss a beat with the business because I could do it out of my home. And yeah, and so I, for the first time, searched out therapy. And through social media, I found a therapist. I'd been fighting therapy. I always stuffed those emotions and then just like they didn't exist, but I knew I was in need. And I found someone that was authentic, vulnerable, could speak 7 languages, oh, by the way. And for 2 years, 4 hours a week, I have gone through a transformation on Zoom and gone to three mind, body, soul retreats in Brazil. So,
I'm going to stop you
yeah,
there for 1 second because I think this is really important. Earlier, when you talked about making a choice and being the flight attendant and some other words that you've used, I know those also come from courses and places that you've invested in yourself to continue to be the woman of possibility and the woman of yes. It's not like you just stopped doing stuff and got to a certain place in your growth. You've really continued and pursued and worked on it. And I think it's really important because some people say, well, I'll never be that or I can't do that. Cynthia has put in the time and invested in herself to be the absolute truest version. And I don't like the words the best version. I have a very
really,
opposed to the best version, but I do love you that you've aligned with your true version, your
yeah,
what you came in to do, your core
yeah,
being, and
yeah,
it's happening and it's made a
yeah.
difference in your life. So tell us about the mountains.
Well, and I'll digress just a minute because people say all the time, "What's your age? What's your age?" Oh my gosh, take that age and throw it out the window. That's just a freaking number. Okay. I choose to be timeless. Juice Plus, the fruits, vegetables, and berries, they are timeless, aren't they? They're never going to go out of style. And I choose to be timeless, not ageless, timeless. So I'm not going to put my number in a box like people would start judging you. So I went on this retreat and I'm looking at these 40-year-olds and 50-year-olds and they're about to climb this mountain. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going for it. And at one point I stopped and I thought, oh my God, I am such and such a number. I can't, I can't, I can't. And then I found myself taking that number and throwing it. Something in the action, and just from that point on, it's laser focused, put the horse-like blinders on. I am going for it. And this, again, is a country where no one speaks English. I had this little app on my phone, but we didn't have our phones out because we're literally climbing a mountain. And the common language, we all cry the same.
Hmm.
We all hug the same. We laugh the same. We have setbacks the same. We love the same. Our smiles spoke volumes. Our twinkle in our eyes did. We could read each other. That was the common language. And the girl ahead of me reached down, took my hand, and she was not letting go. And
Hmm.
I did the same thing. Before you know it, we had this whole chain of 10 women and 2 men. And we were this chain, we were not letting go. And the view at the top was magical, magical.
And
And
you throw out a number, but it doesn't have to be a number you throw out. It could have been something else that was a
anything,
significant
anything. It's
goal
like
that you threw away.
it's we get to choose our emotions. We get to manage our emotions. And resilience is everything. It's not the number of successes you have, or it's not the number of failures you have or setbacks. It's the number of times you get back up. And I've just gotten back up a whole lot more times than most.
Yeah.
In fact, Nikki, we have talked so many times about having actually a presentation on the bloopers of the business. We would have you belly laughing at the crazy things that we have done and said, and I've said, I will never ever again get up on stage. I'll never ever again get in front of people and talk. Humiliated myself.
Yeah. We did laugh one morning. We started saying, oh, I never heard that story. Oh, I never heard that story. We had a ball.
Goodness gracious.
Crazy.
We've done it all. But you know what? I really believe that all of us need to, especially today more than ever, need to be more human, walk human, talk human.
Mm.
Just get out there and touch lives. And I say it's who do I love campaign. Who do I love? Who do I want to touch, make a difference in their lives? That will come back to boomerang to your heart like nothing else. So I started out of financial fear. This was going to be a little plan B to get me over the hump of that Great Recession. 36 years later, it's become my destination.
Mm.
Can't not do this. I'll do this till I can't.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time from now, is my sense.
Sure is.
I know you wanted to, because we're going to wrap this up, and you wanted to wrap that up with the thing on obstacles. And if you'd like to wrap us up with that, Cynthia, that would be beautiful.
I'll see if I've got it at my fingertips.
Oh, good.
Because you said it was too long.
I thought it might be, but you know what? I think another few minutes just for you to
Okay.
go through it, I think might be really beautiful, and to have people hear it. And it's a great wrap up. And before she does, because we're going to just end on that note rather than doing housekeeping afterwards. First of all, I just want to say this is the last Transform 30. That's hilarious. Transformation Tuesday call we will have of the year. And I want to thank Kirsten for planning most of the Tuesday nights. She's been just amazing, and she's an amazing introducer and big heart and wise woman. I want to thank all of you that have participated in our Tuesday nights. We will have one more call next Tuesday. That will be our last call of the year. And then we'll have our first call of the year, January 6th. But I just want to tell you how much to all of you. I appreciate you. I love you. Without this business, I don't know who I would be in the times of really difficulty, because we've had them. And I loved even tonight, Kirsten, that you always say Chris and Nikki. It just comes out of your mouth. You couldn't stop yourself if you tried, and it's really sweet. So I just want to get that out. And we do have one more call next Tuesday. And with that, Cynthia, I'm going to let you close us up tonight. End of the year.
I want to say too, Nikki, that both of us live alone now. And I had this whole list of perceptions of things that I thought I couldn't do because I've never lived alone in my entire life. My entire life, never lived alone. I'm doing just great.
I
With
know.
because of the family of Juice Plus.
Yeah.
And once I became authentic and shared it with my team, what was going on, they have so lifted me up. They've carried me through. So it was about time I became authentic. So with that, I wrote this for my team during the the dips of the digital transformation. These were my thoughts, and I just poured it out to them. And yeah, I'll say it. Leadership embodies purpose, vision, mindset, grit, grace, and gratitude. So I really believe that the obstacle is the way. Identify the obstacles we all face in any business globally post-COVID. It's called languishing, loneliness, which can lead to depression. So instead of fighting the obstacles, let's embrace them and challenge ourselves to become our best selves, turn the obstacles to our advantage and opportunity to grow us, to grow our company, to grow our brand. And years ago, a lot of us NMDs read a book, Good to Great. And I remembered in that book, it's saying that bad companies are destroyed by crises. Good companies survive them, but great companies are improved by crises. So Travis Garza, like the book Good to Great, he has found the right people, put them on the right bus and the right seats. And I really believe what holds us back can move us forward if you've got the right mindset. So the solution to me is get out into our communities, meet the people, eyeball to eyeball, be human, strike up human talk, walk human, walk slowly through the crowd. You know, I used to have an agenda, get in and out of the supermarket, right? No, walk slowly through the crowd, smile, have that twinkle in your eye, start up conversations with people. And because we're in a relationship business, you all know that. So let me see. I'd be the wind beneath your own wings. You can do anything, you can become anything, and start a Who Do I Love campaign. Who do I love that deserves to hear about our brand? The benefits of our brand. Who do I know that deserves to hear about the benefits of our Juice Plus community? So this quote you may want to write down. I love this and it's deep. Nurture your relationships. Nurture your customers. Nurture your partners as if they are the only garden that's going to feed you. Think about that for a moment. Nurture your relationships, your customers, your partners, as if they're the only garden that will feed you. So regarding loneliness in our Juice Plus business, we get to pick our tribe. We offer hope, the Juice Plus family lifting each other up, shining the light on each other. And recently on a founders call, Travis Garza said to us all, be clear about who we are. We are a proactive wellness company powered by simple plants, helping people live, look, and be healthy. That's who we are. We focus on personal growth, financial stability, time and location freedom, and opportunity to discover our purpose. So one of the things that it's actually the largest of this, I call it the 7 basic human needs. The largest is contribution. And if you think about what we are contributing to people's health, our paychecks really reflect the number of people getting healthy and our partners realizing their family's financial health as well. Obstacles are our creative opportunities to test our resilience,
Mm.
to test it, try new things, recognize what got us here. End of the day, think about this. It's all about our mindset. It's about our mindset, which we get to choose. It's about our energy. It's about our vibrations. I never knew what vibrations were, but I can feel them now. States of highest vibrations are gratitude and joy, authenticity, vulnerability coming from the heart. Do you know that vibrations are based on plant-based nutrition, on water, sleep, exercise, mindset? So the question I'd like to leave you all with is, what defines you? What defines you? Just come up with words like, what defines me is contribution, my health and vitality, my purpose, my mindset defines me, my vision, my vibrations define me, my energy, my gratitude, my happiness and joy define me. So own it. Sell your vision, sell the benefits, illuminate our vibrations. Where there is no vision, people will cherish. Think about that for a moment. So it's time for our comeback story. The success recipe to me is that the little things, the basics, are the big things that count. So consistently talking to people, recognizing people's strengths, acknowledging them, honoring them, listening to hear. Be human, talk human, walk your talk, eat the rainbow and be the rainbow. That's it.
Oh, that was just beautiful. And I think what puts all of that together, Cynthia, is what story are you telling yourself and the world every day? Is your story all of those highest vibrations, or is it some other vibrations? Because what you keep telling yourself and the rest of the world is the way you are defining yourself. And that was just beautiful. So thank you all. Everybody have wonderful holidays. Cynthia, thank you for staying late. I hope this was, oh, look at that picture. Oh, do you see what you just posted? Wait, keep that up there. I'm gonna add that in the spotlight. That is,
I've got that upstairs on my dresser.
God, I think I've gone through more hairdos than anybody.
Didn't you call yourselves the Naughty Nine?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. That might have been the perfect 10. I don't remember. I don't know how many.
There's 9 of you in the
We were
photo.
the sexy six. We were the let's see, the naughty nine, the crazy eight.
Crazy Eights for a while. And it was a group of women that came together in a really tough time
Very tough time.
that said, we're going to make this work for the rest of the company. It was incredible. So,
Well, from my perspective, what I see when I look at that photo, so I was at Nikki's house, Cynthia, when I saw that staying in her guest room. That was on the wall. And I just took a photo of it because there was so much power in that photo. But what it screamed at me was the legacy that you ladies have left, all the groundwork that you've put in, and the legacy that you have brought for those of us that are newer to the company. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because so grateful for all the wisdom that you guys bring. It's truly amazing.
You know, that was brought together by a lady that ended up becoming my sponsor because Jeff Roberti at that time, I'd risen up to Jeff and he, after I cried and said, I'm going to quit the business if you don't transfer me under Cheryl, he did. Easy. And so I was transferred under Cheryl as an NMD and it was the best thing for both of us. And I just grew to love that woman so much. Met her at the first conference, followed her to the bathroom, the ladies' room, and said, will you be my friend? I had no idea
Oh.
how big she was. And Cheryl formulated this group before I was even under her in her organization. And yeah, she, as you know, has gone through horrible times, and we love her. We honor her. She every Monday morning for 30 some years had an NMD, her NMD mastermind call for an hour. And it's going on what, Nikki, now maybe 4 or 5 years that Cheryl hasn't been with us.
Yeah.
And that call was going to go down the drain. And during my worst times, they all voted that I would head up the call. And what's interesting looking back, it was the worst time for me of what I was going through with David, but it was the best time because it forced me to stand up again and continue it, because they said, oh, we'll join Wendy Campbell's team. We'll join Carrie Daigle's team. We don't need the Monday night call anymore. I said, no, we will continue Cheryl's legacy. I refused. There's something in you that just says, no, this is where we're going. And so it ended up being the best time for me because it kept me positive. It kept me on a mission, on a purpose. I had a purpose. And now it's a beyond amazing call every Monday morning for an hour. And we have probably 25 to 30 NMDs on that call. And what's magical about it is I said, everybody has a voice. Everyone will be listened to. We all come to the table with our individual strengths. And they are being heard, they're being listened to, and they're brilliant. I had no idea that they had those strengths, but together we're brilliant, and there's no agenda. We go with the flow, and every call is like, oh my gosh, we could keep going for another hour.
Which we
And
could
that's
tonight.
what's magical. So you've got great leaders, and Nikki and Chris is up there looking down on all of you and guiding you too. I can see it. So don't take these leaders for granted ever. They're amazing and heartfelt, and she loves you.
So everybody, good night. Thank you for adding that, Heidi.
Thank you so much.
Cynthia, and have great holidays, and we'll see you next week for our last call.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.